It's not a very nice afternoon, but we've come down to try and at least get some peas in the ground. So this bed was already prepared, the weed control fabric was there. So all I've done is remove the soil from this trench. So it's sort of an inch or so deep. We've liberally scattered the peas in there, and the soil that came out went in the barrow, and that will now be replaced back over the excavated trench before we move round and do the other side. So we're on to row 2, the other side, and this bed will be planted up. So like I say, we get plenty of peas in, we find this is the way we get the best results. As I've said before, it works, so we carry on doing it this way. Our early brassicas are ready to plant out, so it was a question of making sure we had somewhere reasonably secure to put them, because left out it needs just one night of pinching attack, of wood pinching attack, and there's nothing left. So this is having a test, and hopefully tomorrow, if it's not raining, we can get our early brassicas planted out. We've also put our first 2 rows of peas in today. They're early onward. They're not, they're just onward. They're in those that have been sown in these trenches, cut in the weed control fabric, as I showed you earlier. The only difference now is I've laid what will be our pea sticks over the top, just to keep a few birds, cats, dogs, whatever's walking around on the allotment in the evening. So hopefully they'll be alright, and they should be up in a week or so. Sue said I ought to show you the onions and shallots. I suppose they're the one thing that we've planted in the allotment as sets, as they should be, and they're growing reasonably well. So the shallots are looking very well, and so too the onions. The shallots are Edson and the onions Stuttgart. The other onions, which are in these rows, are Stir-on Red Carmen Rumba, and there's some more shallots over this side that aren't germinating quite as quickly, Golden Gourmet, but hopefully they'll come in a bit, or perhaps it's because that's the last of the bulbs, and all the bulbs were planted in this row are all sets, and they look as though they've all come up. So in general, so far, quite pleased with our move to put our sets directly into the ground rather than into modules as we've done before. Apple trees will soon be in blossom. This is Egremont russet, and a few flowers are out, and we've got lots and lots of buds to come. Over the last couple of years it's been one of our most productive small trees, and this end of the apple hedge is just about ready to come out too. And one surprise did have down the allotment when I was getting ready or actually moving the fleece from what was a rather disastrous winter brassica bed over to the one you've just seen ready for our early summer brassicas. I found a sort of cauliflower. No idea what variety it is, and it's by no means a prize specimen, but it will certainly give us a start. It's better than nothing. And the only thing I'm going to do on this one before we go is we have a sprouting broccoli plant that's not doing too badly, but I don't want to leave it uncovered because, as I said before, one night of wood pigeon attack and brassica is no more, so I might well move this little bit of fleece that's protecting nothing just over that brassica, just over that purple sprouting before we go. Plum trees, gauges still flowering very nicely. Sue's autumn raspberries are looking really good. And the broad beans that were planted out sort of a week or so ago aren't looking too bad. They seem to have stood up to the wind okay. Famous last words there. I've had a little trouble with the forking these three beds, which are all waiting to be dug, and they're generally too wet to dig. It's claggy. It leaves a mark where the fork goes into the ground. It sort of leaves a mark. You can see where the fork went in. And now, only other harvest today is some rhubarb poppy. So I picked a few sticks of Timperley early. Should be enough there to make us a decent sized pie. Tomorrow to come down and get our early brassicas in. Whether that will actually materialise or not, I've got no idea. Today's first job was to get our early brassica plants that came from DT Brown's in. They'd been a bit too long in the greenhouse. They'd had no time in the comb frame to harden off, but it's been down to 3 or 4 degrees in the greenhouse, so I'm hoping that we'll do them. So we've got 3 main batches. First of all, we've got our Calabrese Aquiles, a bit of a space, and then our cabbage Regency, another bit of a space, and some Helsinki cauliflowers, and finally a couple of rows of odds and ends where there were 2 seedlings in the module that came on the plug plant, and I split them, so there's 6 extra plants in there. But I'm going to tidy up around the edge and then get them covered up, and then we're going to see if we can find a bed to plant some potatoes, because one of the jobs I want to have a go around this afternoon is to work out which beds might be possible to dig and which aren't. Well, no, that's not quite true, because I don't think any will be okay for digging. This afternoon we've been trying to clear some weed control fabric off some beds to hopefully see if they'll dry out a little bit. So on this side of the plot I'll get somewhere where I can sort of go around the plot. So on the bed over there, just over this Loch Ness blackberry, that bed is ready for planting up, and we're going to put some sweet peas in and some annual flowers. that just needs covering with some weed control fabric. We've got this long border tidied up. Strawberries over there we're going to just have to wait and see, but they seem to be growing okay now. This bed here was last year's brassicas, and we've just lifted the weed control fabric, and I'm digging out the old brassica roots, which were all club root resistant varieties, and there doesn't look to be any club root on the roots I've dug out. What I will say, and I'll show you in a minute, is that when I'm digging the roots out, it just shows how wet this soil is. I'll show you just down here. You can see what the soil looks like where it's been under the weed control fabric. That's once a week or so drying out before I make any effort to try and dig that one. It's just going to do more harm than good. This half doesn't look quite as wet. On second thoughts, it might be. This middle bed is planted up with our main crop potatoes, which we did a week or so ago now, and then this bed at the end had our sweet peas and squashes and some onward peas last year. Again, we've lifted the weed control fabric, so we're hoping it's going to dry out a little bit. We've now got in to tidy up, or we're going to have to tidy up this end where the primroses are in full bloom and looking very nice, but now everything's cleared, I'll sort out the edging to this plot. Could be a job we can do before everything, or while everything is hopefully drying out. Gooseberries have all leafed up and looking quite well, and our honeyberries bushes actually look very well. Whether we'll have any honeyberries, I'm not too sure. And then going down this side, we have what is going to be our new rhubarb bed, which I might try and do something with next week. Don't think it will need fully digging over, just some compost where the rhubarb is planted, and then all the debris from sweet peas and everything else has been piled on this bit where we normally plant some tomatoes. The plants that are left over from the greenhouse get planted outside, and we just get whatever we get from them. But they're going to be a while before they go in. That will be June. If we haven't started drying out in June, we really are in trouble. So I'm just going to try and get a little bit of video now that just shows just how wet our soil is at the minute. And looking at the clouds, there's a possibility we'll get some torrential rain tomorrow, but I'm hoping it will actually stay further south and we miss everything. But whether that will happen or not is in the lap of the gods. So I'm now just going to do a little bit of video to see if I can show just how wet our soil is when these roots come. It will depend just how big this root is that I've got left to dig up. Of course, Sod's Law says, Sod's Law, that's clever, isn't it, in the allotment with soil. Sod's Law says that it wouldn't be a very good plant and there wasn't much root left to dig up, but you can probably see what I turned over with the spade. There's no way that's going to dig. That is just absolutely wet through. So the plan is to leave it for a while hopefully in a week or so, if we don't get any rain, it might dry out a little bit. Earlier on we did manage to get our early brassicas planted. They came from DT Browns. They'd been in the greenhouse. They're now under there, hopefully protected from any insects and butterflies. Don't think there are any cabbage whites just at the minute. Don't think they like this freezing cold wet weather. Hopefully they'll be okay. I did think I'd spotted the first signs of early potato coming through, but having another look, I can't see any, and I'm not that bothered that they're not coming through yet because the forecast isn't that good. So what I can say now is that this plot is just about planted up. This plot is always our first one to be planted, and it's now planted up, given that most of it's fruit, and we got this rather large perennial bed that we use for cut flowers. The only thing that will happen, that if the potatoes are out in good time, then we'll resell that bed with some onward peas, or we might even put some lettuce in a sort of salad crop thing just to make some more use of the ground. But most of the other stuff will be in until the middle or late summer. Definitely much greener on the plot now. And the tulips are still looking very pretty, and the blossoms coming off all the plum, greengage and this pear tree, and it gives the impression of almost got a little bit of snow under the tree. The one thing that does need doing quite badly is the grass needs cutting, but we've got more important things to do at the minute, so hopefully I'll be able to catch up on the grass in next week. Right. On this side of the plot, we're in just the same boat as we are over the other side. On this plot we've got these 3 beds cleared of weed control fabric, and we're just waiting for them to dry out a little bit before we can dig them over. We haven't decided what will be in each bed, but one will certainly be carrots and parsnips, and they really need to be in very quickly now. If I bob over on this plot, we're sort of a bit further behind in here because we've still got a couple of beds where we've got to take the weed control fabric off. The only bit that's cleared on this side is the bit that had leaks in last year, which is this bit of the plot just there, so it's still wet and hard and lumpy, but it's going to need digging over. This patch down here, we seem to try clearing it every year, and every year it just grows back as wild as ever. The one thing we have planted today in the end bed is our shallot potatoes. This bed for some reason hasn't been cultivated for a few years, and the soil level seemed to have dropped, and I put barrowfuls of compost in it to bring it up level last autumn, and that seemed to have dried out pretty well, so we've covered it with weed control fabric and planted a couple of rows of shallot potatoes. That's left the bed on this plot to dry out where now. We had some potatoes last year, the weed control fabric's come off, and I'll be leaving that now to dry out, hopefully over the next week. This bit of the plot still needs weed control fabric removing. Try and do that next visit, I think. It's either that or cut the grass before the grass gets completely out of control. That's certainly, the grass is growing faster than anything else at the moment. But the one thing we've got this year that we've never had before is a large heap of removed weed control fabric. It's all labelled up so I know which beds it should go back on this year. But in previous years we've never had this problem. I've been able to take a weed control fabric or take a piece of weed control fabric off, dig a bed, and then gradually rotate the fabric around. I haven't had to wait a week or so with no fabric on the bed for it to dry out. But this year things are different. Hopefully things might start to dry up a little bit now. Anyway, it's quite cold down here today. The wind is, I think it's from an odd direction. It's more from the east than the west, and it's pretty nippy. It looks like our bluebells will be out next week. And depending how much rain we get on Monday will determine exactly when we're back down at the plot, hopefully getting the grass cut.